little book lovers. It is a beautiful day outside. Perfect spring day. I've been working all morning and I just had my lunch and I'm about to go get my annual checkup at the doctor's. So I'm taking the rest of the day off. And I figured there's no better day to film a little reading vlog. What do y'all think? So I'll give you updates on things I read in the month of May, my current reads, and then I'll share my summer TBR that's coming up. And then we'll read a book together. How does that sound? Okay, first of all, let's talk about books I read in the month of May. When we were in London traveling with Star Kid, I brought Persuasion because I wanted something familiar and comforting. You know, it's just fun to read Jane Austen in London. And this was the one I hadn't really gotten to reread in the last 2 years. So I love Persuasion. I think it's the most romantic of the Jane Austen books. I also read this little book called The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. I think there are like 9 or maybe 11 total. I don't know how many there are, but they're funny. They're written in the first person. They're period pieces. The year is 1883 and Emma M. Lyon has returned to her London neighborhood of St. Crispians, but Emma's plans for a charmed and studious life are sabotaged by her eccentric cousin Archibald, her formidable aunt Eugenia, and the slightly odd denizens of St. Crispians. It was fun. I liked it. I got this used, but they're not that easy to find. There's no like audiobook version of them. So I don't think I'm gonna keep seeking them out. If I were to come across a used collection of them for very little money, I would probably keep going. But I didn't like it enough where I was like, I have to get the next ones. Do you know what I'm saying? We finally finished Sinister Spring, which is just a collection of Agatha Christie stories set in the season spring. I got it for our coffee table and Brian has been reading it out loud to me and he read it out loud to my family a bunch of times. And then when spring was over, I was like, this has got to leave the coffee table. We hadn't finished yet. But my parents were just in town and Brian read the final story to us over candlelight after dinner one night and it was so precious. But they're fun. They're just short little Agatha Christie mysteries and there's one for every season. Once again, this was kind of hard to find, but I found it used and marked down because there's like a scratch on the book. I don't even know if you can see it, but I also read The 3 Lives of Kate K. This was really fun. Oh my god, Brian, you scared me. I just heard a crunch of an apple and it's Brian staring at me. This is great. You can film me. My arms hurt. Okay, but here, you gotta flip it so you can see what you're filming. Thank you, Brian. No, don't do the thing where you zoom in and out.
This is way more interesting.
No. It makes people sick. I don't like it. Okay, 3 Lives of Kate K. This book was really fun and interesting. It has, wait, who's the person we like? Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's got Taylor Jenkins Reid's vibes. But it's about a woman who goes through something traumatic and then decides to like kind of run away from her life, change her name, and then she ends up changing her name twice. She becomes a famous author who has published her book under a pseudonym and nobody knows who she is, and the pseudonym is Kate K. It's a beautiful story. It's about love and loss and running away from our problems, and you know, parts of the book were pretty cheesy and I feel like it's one of those books where if I was not in the right mood I would have been like rolling my eyes at certain parts, but I was in the right mood and I had a great time.
Don't you have to leave for your appointment soon?
Yeah. I also read Our Infinite Fates. I let my friend Lauren borrow it. I really liked it. I will say it's a story about a couple who get reincarnated every time they die, and they are reincarnated kind of together somewhere around the same time somewhere, and they have to find each other and kill each other before their 18th birthday. And one of them knows why, the other one doesn't know why. I felt like it had a really, really strong start. Then it became a little too repetitive and I was like, I would like to dive deeper into like other aspects of their relationship rather than just focusing on like, and here they were in this time period when they had to kill each other and here's how they did it. And then all of a sudden it had like a really abrupt ending. Like really abrupt, like, oh wow. Okay.
It's called having fun for once in your life. You ever heard of it?
So in the end, I think I give it like 3.5 stars. I listened to the final book in the Miss Tilney, Mr. Darcy mystery series called The Perils of Lady Catherine de Bourgh. These are just Jane Austen mysteries with a bunch of Jane Austen characters, definitely geared towards Jane Austen fans. That's what makes them fun and cozy and familiar. And yeah, I just had a great time. I love them, and y'all recommended them to me, so thank you. Oh, I also listened to The Twilight Garden, which is the sweet story about these neighbors in London who share a garden, and they are kind of enemies. Like, they do not like each other. They do not have a friendly neighborly situation. And they share a garden space, and one of them decides he really wants to revive the garden, and they end up coming to, well, I don't want to spoil it, but let me just say, the community comes together to help bring this garden back, and there's a little bit of like history of the garden and like that space, and it's really sweet. And then I just never gave a final thought on Intermezzo, The Artsy Horny by Sally Rooney. It was like named one of the best books last year. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I just had a nice, soft, cozy, sweet, sad time listening to it. And horny. Okay, this is my current read, Mad Honey. My friend Lauren let me borrow it. She loved it. It's, if anyone has watched Adolescence, which, by the way, so intense, it's got those vibes. It's about a woman whose teenage son is arrested for murder. And that's all I know so far. She's a beekeeper. I don't want to know anything else. I'm like 120 pages in and I'm sucked in. But I got this used little mini copy of Peter Pan because I haven't read it since I was a kid, and I figured since I'm taking, after my doctor's appointment, I'm taking the rest of the day off. I think I'd like to spend the entire rest of the day and evening just reading Peter Pan. I'm gonna show you my summer TBR after my doctor's appointment, and then we're gonna launch right into PP. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go see how my body's doing, physically.
Oh, it's doing good. Stand up, come on. Now let's take a look at that body. What are those?
Socks and sandals, bitch. Wait, I forgot 2 other book updates of current reads. I'm almost done listening to the audiobook for The Rose Bargain, which is a romantasy. It's so cheesy. It's got like all the romantasy tropes, all of them. But it also has like, I've never watched The Bachelor, but I'd heard it compared to The Bachelor. It's got like, there are games, y'all have to compete for the fairy prince's hand thing. So that's a fun added element. And then Brian and I, we had started listening to a Brandon Sanderson. What was it called?
It was the Mistborn series. I think the name of the first book, is The Final Empire.
Yeah, we started Mistborn. And we listened to it for like 12 hours. Like, so long.
More like Miss Boring.
Yeah, it just never picked up for us. Like, it was so many hours and hours and hours of like, we are planning something. And we're like, can't wait to see it in action. And like 12 hours in, like, still nothing had really happened. There was like one good scene where we were like, cool, this is fun. When we were 12 hours in and I turned to Brian and I said, who is this character again? Who had been like in the book since the beginning. We're like, let's just stop. So we DNF'd it. We might try again one day, but who knows. We switched to this book, Trust, which is like a Pulitzer Prize winner, I think. And Joe Walker and Tracy listened to it together and really liked it. So we thought, why not? Let's have some fun. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, everyone, I'm back home from my doctor's appointment. Everything's looking good under the hood. I'm gonna show you my summer TBR pile, to be read, in case anyone didn't know what TBR was. A lot of these I have been saving for months and months and months. I haven't read them, so I don't know much about them, but the bottom 4 here are all Book of the Month books. Passion Project, Tana's already read it. It's a romance. She said it's very romancy, very simple, easy, full of tropes. Bombshell, I don't really know anything about this other than that I read the description and it sounded good. It's a brand new book and I forget what the description said. But I chose it. Okay, Charmaine Wilkerson wrote Black Cake, which I loved so much. I picked this as my book of the month a couple months ago and then have just been saving it for summertime because she's got summer vibes. I've heard amazing things about this book, The Lion Women of Tehran. It won one of the best books of the year last year from Book of the Month, so I got it for free because you get free Book of the Month book and from the best books. And Forest Where the Phoenix Sleeps, I literally got it because of the cover. Look at this cover. I mean, have you ever seen anything so beautiful? I think it's just a cozy fantasy. I saw it on Pinterest as a great cozy fantasy. So I'll let y'all know how it is. These flowers made me think maybe summer, but there are some twigs here with no leaves on them, so maybe fall, but I don't know. It could even be spring. Who knows? But I'll report back. Factory Girls, one of you recommended it as a great summer read, and I actually got it last year, but I didn't read it in time for summer. Last Mrs. Parrish, my friend Angela gave me this. She said it's just a fun summer by the pool book. I think it's a thriller or a mystery. I don't know. Everything is illuminated. One of you told me to move it to my summer TBR pile because it's more summery. I think this has something to do with a war and somebody finding out about their origin story or something. I don't know. Then I have an Abby Jimenez that I've never read, Happy Ever After playlist. I got this at Romance Con, and I'm excited to read it. I tried listening to the audiobook, but I didn't like the male narrator, so I gave up. One and Only Ivan was gifted to me years ago, and it's just been on my bookshelf, and I never read it, and I was like, it's time to read this. I think it's the story of, like, a gorilla. I think it's the story of a gorilla. Shell Seekers was in a little free library. It might even have been put into ours. And I loved Winter Solstice by the same author. And I was looking, and it seems like a lot of people say this is actually her best book. But Winter Solstice is like the ultimate cozy winter read. So I'm hoping this is a cozy summer read. It looks thick. Okay, so it's just about 4. It's 4 o'clock. I have the rest of the day off because of this little doctor's appointment. So I'm gonna go grab Peter Pan and I'm gonna sit here. This area is now shady, so it's like perfect for just sitting out here and reading all night. I'm gonna get a little glass of iced tea and I'm gonna read Peter Pan for the first time as an adult. I'm kind of dressed like him. Kinda. I don't know, I'm wearing green. Page 83 and just wrapping up chapter 6. I'm about to move inside because I'm getting so sleepy sitting out here. But we're in Neverland. They've saved Wendy and she just put the Lost Boys to sleep. And let me just read you this. The little house looked so cozy and safe in the darkness, with a bright light showing through its blinds and the chimney smoking beautifully, and Peter standing on guard. After a time, he fell asleep, and some unsteady fairies had to climb over him on their way home from an orgy. Any of the other boys obstructing the fairy path at night, they would have mischieved, but they just tweaked Peter's nose and passed on. The fairies are just having an orgy? Just a little fairy orgy, and they're like, time to go home. I'm gonna poke Peter's nose real quick. I wanna go to a fairy orgy. It is 5:20. And I was also drinking this like spritzy wine, so I'm also drunk. I'm drunk and sleepy reading Peter Pan. Hello, may I join you? May I join you on the couch? Yeah? You want your belly rubbed? Let's read some Peter Pan together. Okay, we're on page 108. I fell asleep for a little bit too. Anyway, I'm gonna go put a pizza in the oven. A Trader Joe's pizza. That's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. I don't know what I just said. It wasn't right. But that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. Whoa, whoa, big news everybody, especially for a reading vlog. Brian just came in, he finished my bookshelf. Holy shit!
Should I point out some of the special features?
Yes.
So I made sure that it wasn't symmetrical on any one side. So like you can see the top shelf ends here, but as you go down, they get further and further to the left.
That's okay, who cares?
And I might add another shelf up here, or replace this one with one that's smooth so that it doesn't look like that. I just miscounted.
I'm so proud of you,
But,
Brian. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to put books on it yet?
I think you can because it's screwed in instead of glued. So I think that we can put books on.
Let me just test it out. How do you put them on?
I think that's a good question. I think it's supposed to go like this.
Cute! Oh my god!
I think.
And then you put more? Hold on.
Oh no, it goes like this. It goes like this. So you can put it like that, and then give me another stack. And then the other stack goes out like that. That makes more sense.
Oh my god, it's the cutest and best thing. Okay. Wow, Bri! Oh, beautiful!
I guess it kind of blocks your jewelry there a little bit, huh?
That's okay.
I didn't think about that.
I might even just take that down. Here's a little sneak peek of my fall TBR. Ah, shit. Fall TBR. We turned it sideways so I could look at the books while I lay in bed. I took my jewelry thing down. I can't believe how beautiful this is. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It was simply too painful, she said.
A Yahtzee! Where am I? Neverland? Where dreams come true?
Weird.
Okay. Dinner break is over. We're launching back in. I'm halfway done. Let's go. That was special. That was special. It's just really nice to go back and read some classic children's literature and like be transported to a magical place. This was lovely. Peter Pan is so whimsical, but it's also very funny. Has so many like silly, fun character names and descriptions and just really great. So nice to just sit and just read a whole book too in one evening. Okay, it's 9 p.m. That's late for me. And I have like 20 minutes left of the Rose. Oh, never mind. I have 10 minutes left of the Rose bargain. Okay, I'll finish this while brushing my teeth. And then I'll be done with the Rose bargain. Thank you for spending this lovely reading vlog with me. Let me know if you've read any of these books or if you want to read any of them, or I love hearing if people have read something that I recommended to them. So please let me know. And let me know what audiobooks I should listen to this summer. I have a few lined up, but let me know if there are other recommendations. All right, love y'all.